Hold on, I'm going to have to turn off the mic, the broadcaster.
It's Madden NFL
I totally
24.
forgot to do that. I apologize. Welcome aboard, everybody. Saints and Bucks coming at you from New Orleans. Slip up on my part there. Let's get past this intro and get the broadcast crew out of the way. Apologies for that. Running the non-broadcast games of Week 3. And I like having the background on for that for when I listen to it. There you go. We'll take care of that. So we have the opening kickoff here. The Saints will receive a pair of 0-2 clubs. Again, that blows my doing the introduction, but that's my own fault there. I apologize for that. Opening kick, as we'll get underway. We'll go through the introduction momentarily here. Deuce McAllister takes the opening kickoff in the end zone, and New Orleans and Drew Brees will get the start here. Get things a little bit more in order here. George Rogers, the lone setback to start things off for New Orleans. The Saints have had a problem offensively to open up the season. Rogers had a huge year in year one. He was terrific for New Orleans. They got better as the year went on. The Saints won this NFC South division. But again, we talk, it's hard to call anything a desperate situation 3 games in. But sitting at 0-2, both losses to division opponents, with only the division winners and 1 wild card making the postseason here in the FSFL. The Bucs and Saints are in dire straits here in year 3. The Bucs defense has been strong, and Jameis Winston is off to a fine start, having avoided turnovers in each of the first 2 weeks. But Tampa hasn't been able to get James Wilder going, and the longer that keeps up, the more likely it is that Winston is going to be forced to win the games with his arms and run a risk for bigger turnovers. The Saints have shot themselves in the foot in the early going, most notably with Drew Brees losing a pair of fumbles inside his own 20 a week ago against the Panthers. That was really the difference in that game. Offense hasn't gotten rolling yet, and we'll see if Sean Payton has anything up his sleeve to try and break that spell against a tough Tampa defense this week. They play it very conservatively there, though. 3rd and long, deep in their own end. They see if they can slip Mark Ingram through for a carry there, and the Saints go 3 and out on the opening drive. An absolute mauling there. That carry fooled nobody. So not a great start for the New Orleans offense. Buccaneers will get their first crack with it. Punt comes Morstead. High arc kick. It will be returned, though. That's Humphreys out across the 30 to the 33. And that is where things will start for Jameis Winston and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Greg Gorecki has joined us. How are you, sir? Good to see you. And ignore those stats. Those are just the stats, because I'm doing the whole season in exhibition mode. Those are just the stats of the guy I overwrote. Actually, no. Since Winston is actually in the game, that's actually Winston's stats out, obviously, from like 3 years ago. James Wilder jukes a defender and gets to the outside. Good run by Wilder. Out across the 40 to the 45. 12-yard pickup. Again, it's been a tough grind for James Wilder to start off year 3. Or year 2, rather. Year 2 of week 3. Old school Saints team. Bringing it way back. 1st and 10 for the Bucs in their own 45. Hand off there, out across the 45. Pick up a 3. And it looks like Marshawn Lattimore may have gotten rolled up on a little bit for New Orleans. He's going to get stretched out on the side. That looks like a hammy situation. You should see Marshawn Lattimore again. But he'll check out of the game for New Orleans for the moment. Injury there. 2nd and 7. You see Pat Swilling and the Saints defense Swilling off to a good start. Not surprising. Winston goes to the shotgun, empty backfield here. He's got 4 wideouts on 2nd and 7. Stands in, looks to the near side, incomplete. first pass attempt from Winston. Incomplete. Dave Waymer there in coverage for New Orleans. Wilder averaging less than 3 yards a carry through the first 2 games for Tampa. That obviously needs to change for the Bucs. Winston stands in the pocket here. Pass complete. First down, down inside the 35. 21-yard pickup. That's Gerald Carter on the reception. Nice grab there by Carter, and suddenly Tampa's in business down to the New Orleans 31-yard line. 11th catch of the season for Gerald Carter. Just underway here in New Orleans. Saints went 3 and out on their opening drive. Bucs trying to get something going early. Winston looks left-hand side, incomplete. Ended from Mark Carey. Wide of the mark. Winston won for his first 3. Second and 10. High formation this time behind them. Short little drop, short little slant. That play happened a little slowly. I don't know if the receiver got chucked at the line there. That's Carey. It was only a pickup of 4. Winston didn't exactly zip that throw in. So it's complete, but not much out of it. 3rd and 6 from the 27. Winston in the gun. 3 receivers to the low side here. Cross back pressure up the middle, and that's bad. They've either read the blocking scheme or he blew off the line, but the rookie Onyemata gets through, sacks Winston back, and that's going to knock them out of field goal range. David Onyemata comes back. That was a blocking scheme like it was a screen, but it took forever to develop. Winston had nobody to throw to there and ends up getting buried. Each of these teams 5 sacks through the first 2 weeks. So rather than have Michael Lustad try from 56, Mark Royals will come on to punt for the Bucs, and they'll play the field position down. Good punt from Royals. That goes out of bounds at the 5, and the Saints will take over. Brees in New Orleans, 1st and 10 from the 5. Short pass there, complete. That's Henry Childs, his tight end. Brees and Childs have gotten a nice little connection going early on. Pickup of 6. 9th catch of the year for Childs, who actually has the most receiving yards on the Saints to this point. Brees in the gun on 2nd and 4, handoff there, and out the middle on a little trap, and that's George Rogers out across the 20 to the 23. Good carry for Rogers. Chains will move, 1st and 10 for New Orleans. Handoff. Rogers tries to get to the outside. There's nothing there. Brought down by Levante David and a couple of other Buccaneers in the back. 2nd and 11. Back at the 22. Ingram has actually been the more effective runner for the Saints so far this year. Rogers has had a few more opportunities. He's only averaging 3 yards to carry. Ingram averaging a touch over 5. There is Ingram. Ingram off tackle, and Ingram breaks it open. Out across the 40, out across the 45, out to the 48. 26-yard pickup from Mark Ingram. On cue. Breaks one free. He and Hardy Nickerson have a little pushing and shoving at the end of that play. Nickerson having a fine year for the Bucs defense. No, Hardy Nickerson was such a good, solid linebacker. I always liked him. Brees in the shotgun here from his own 48 as the Saints try to get something going. Stands back. Oh, saw pressure from one way. He gets away the other way, and Leroy Selman finishes that off. Brees holds on to the ball. And Selman is the guy who checks out. Oh, that would be a big loss for Tampa. So Selman gets the sack, but appears to be injured on the play. We'll keep an eye on that one. Both teams with a sack here in the opening quarter. Brees rolled right, so it looked like Vita Vea coming. Tried to reverse his direction and rolled right into Leroy Selman. 2nd and 20 after the loss of 10. Brees drops. Floats one, left-hand side, tipped away. Great coverage there. Brees put some air under that one, but Kelly, in coverage, knocks it away. It'll be 3rd and 20. Greg notes in the chat, love the Selman brothers. Yeah, and they're both on the team. They got Dewey Selman out of the opening draft also. They got both the Selman boys to start things off. 3rd and 20 here. Brees stands in. Pressure from the backside. Brees steps up, doesn't want to cross the line, looking for somebody to throw to, and he holds on too long. I mean, at that point, the sack doesn't really cost him anything. He basically lost a yard there. Hardy Nickerson will take the gift sack. Brees had some room, but he knew he wasn't going to get the first down, so he was trying not to cross the line of scrimmage. And instead, he takes the sack near the sideline at the hands of Hardy Nickerson. Thomas Morstead will come on to punt again for New Orleans. Fair catch called by Adam Humphries back at the 17. The Buccaneers regain control. Lone setback behind Winston. 3 wide to the low side. Handoff out across the 20. Wilder picks up 4. It'll be 2nd and 6. Out to the 21. Winston drops, stands in, looks over the middle, complete, but shy of the marker. That's only going to be a pickup of 5. Gerald Carter, his 2nd catch in the early going. Dirk Winston with the tackle for New Orleans. No, Joe Horn is not on the roster as of yet. Horn will be drafted down the line. Dump off there from Winston, incomplete. On the 4th and 1 here from their own 25, got to imagine that the punting unit will come on for Tampa. Punt there, fair catch. No, I thought Reggie Bush had called for the fair catch there. He elects to return it. Gets it out across the 40 to the 41. So Brees and the Saints will get back to work. 5:12 left here in the first quarter. Handoff up the middle. Rodgers. Oh, wrenched down. Nice support there from the secondary. That's Brown coming up for the stop. Rodgers fights for a yard, but that's it. It'll be 2nd and 9. Shotgun there. Handoff, trying to get Ingram free again, and he does. Mark Ingram. 4 carries, 40 yards. So the Saints have again, we mentioned, and obviously you're only 2 weeks. This is only week 3 of the season. But Ingram has run the ball very strongly out of the gate. George Rodgers has taken a little bit longer to get going. And Ingram, so far, has more carries in this one. Obviously still early. Rodgers is the lone setback here. Rodgers jukes to the outside. John Lynch recovers, follows him nicely. Cuts that one for 3. Rodgers had a little bit of daylight ahead of him there. If he can break it. 2nd and 7. They go for that trap play with Ingram again, and that time nobody falls for it on the Tampa side. Loss of 2. It'll be 3rd and 9. Inside 3 minutes remaining in the opening quarter. It's Rodgers. Good hole opens up. Rodgers has the first down to the 31. Good job by the Saints offensive line there. Get that one off tackle a bit. They opened up a nice gap, and Rodgers gets through it. Now it's Ingram up the middle. Picks up 4. Brought down. I believe that was Dewey Selman. Yep, Dewey Selman on the stop there for the Bucs. 2nd and 6 from the 27. And Brees hasn't really hit his stride in the first 2 games of the year. He hasn't thrown an interception, but again, he had the 2 big fumbles last week against the Panthers. Rodgers pulls his way down inside the 25, down to the 22. It'll be 3rd and 2, but Brees completing less than 60% of his passes so far this season. 3rd and 2. The final minute of quarter number 1. Rodgers up the middle, first down. Down inside the 20, inside the 15 to the 14. So now he carries 39 yards for Rodgers. So the Saints electing to try to win it running here, at least at the moment, hoping that they can get both Rodgers and Ingram rolling along. They can open up the passing. Bucs secondary, very, very good. Another handoff. Ingram up the middle. He gets planted. Picks up a yard, and that'll take us to the end of quarter number 1. Selman, another stop there for the Bucs. Scoreless first quarter. Defensive struggle here in the early going. Pair of 0-2 teams. Again, the Saints won the division last year. The Bucs were second. Both made the playoffs. Right now, they're the guys struggling out of the gate. 2nd and 9 from the 13. I formation behind Brees. Man in motion. Handoff Ingram. Ingram gets met in the backfield. Nothing doing there. Levante David with the stop. As our good friend Jeff Hunter joins us. How are you, Jeff? Good to see you, buddy. Hope you are doing well, sir. Appreciate you checking in here for the second of our week 3 live broadcast on the channel. Shotgun to Brees, stands in, looks, end zone, complete, touchdown New Orleans. Oh, it looked like Abramowitz bobbled that one. He went up for it, and it looked like he didn't quite catch it cleanly, but he recovers to reel it in. Touchdown Saints, Brees to Danny Abramowitz, and New Orleans strikes first. There you see, going for the corner. Whoop, the kind of, a double hop there. Oh, that's just a Madden graphic glitch. It's a really impressive catch then. Kind of a double hop. A little bit of a kangaroo action there from Danny Abramowitz. But it works. Touchdown Abramowitz. Extra point is up and good. 11 plays, 61 yards, and 5:53 for New Orleans. And the Saints take a 7-0 lead. Saw on that play, Henry Childs. We talked about Brees' work with Childs early on in this season. And Childs was running that short out. Look, the safety came up to go towards Childs and left a bit of a gap there that Abramowitz slipped into. Brees found him nicely for the score. Kickoff. Taken back at the 1. Stopped right around the 20. The Bucs will get back to work. Yeah, Abramowitz was another one of those guys who I learned more about. I knew of him, but I learned more about as I got this project going. Very solid player. And off there, Wilder tries to get off tackle, picks up a couple. Vaughn Johnson gets to him for the stop. Saints linebacking core, they do have Pat Swilling already. Ricky Jackson is not on the club as of yet. Ricky Jackson will come along somewhere down a future draft. As will Sam Mills. Shotgun. Standing in. Winston over the middle. Complete. Out across the 30. Out to the 34. First down, sticks will move. Jackie Harris reels that one in, 12-yard pickup. These uniforms are fine. I wish they had the road unions for the creamsicle for the Bucs. Handoff Wilder tries to get outside, and Johnson meets him head on. And there is no room there for James Wilder. 2nd and 10 from the 34.
Shotgun, Winston over the middle, incomplete.
Third and 10 from the 34. Winston stands back, pressure up the middle again, and Winston just going to throw that one away to avoid the sack. Incomplete, a little push in after the play. 4th and 10, and the Bucs are going to have to punt again. Mark Royals comes on. 3rd punt of the game for Royals. Reggie Bush is back. He calls for the fair catch at the 22. And the Saints will take over. So Ingram and Rodgers did a good job on that last drive. Again, Saints hoping that the run can open up the pass for them a bit. Brees changing things up here at the line. Drops play action. Stands in, looks out of the backfield. It's Rodgers. Bucks all over that. Pick up at 4. 2nd and 6. John Lynch comes up for the stop for Tampa. And off Rodgers. Up the middle, first down. Rodgers out across the 40 to the 41. 53 yards rushing for George Rodgers so far. Kelly comes up for the stop. Bucs are kind of getting knocked off the ball on the interior so far. That is not common for this defense. So they're a bit stronger on the outside than the inside. Pass there is complete. Another shorty. That's Ingram out of the backfield for 6. It'll be 2nd and 4. Huey Selman. Selman has been all over the place. 3 solo tackles. He's got a couple of assists on tackles as well. We have not seen Leroy Selman since he exited after sacking Brees earlier on. Rodgers. Handoff close to the marker. They'll say he got it. 1st and 10 to the 49. Rondé Barber stops him. Sean Payton, who likes to throw the ball, has kind of adapted here. Running game is working. No reason to change away from it at this point. Handoff, looking for space. Has some space. Inside the 35, inside the 30. Rodgers down to the 27. And the Saints just putting on a rushing clinic here. Two-headed monster. This is right out of the Oilers' Earl Campbell, Derrick Henry mold. Rodgers and Ingram just kind of having their way right now with this Bucs defense. You do not see this Buccaneers defense on its heels like this very much. The Saints are just rolling this downhill right now, and Tampa has no way of stopping. Brees drops. Pass complete. Down inside the 20. It'll be short of the marker. 9-yard pickup. Barry Henderson with the catch, his first of the game. 9 yards down to the 18, 2nd and 1. Frustrated faces on that Buccaneers defense at the moment. Taking the gun, looks. Abramowitz near the sideline. They'll say he got it for the first down. Nice job keeping his feet in there. That's a short little pickup, but it gets the job done. Might see a review on that. I thought he was out of bounds. Doesn't look like there's going to be any review. The call stands. 1st and 10 from the 15. Pitch wide, and that play is blown up. Simeon Rice breaks through, hammers Ingram. That'll be a loss of 3 on the pitch wide, 2nd and 13. Bucks need a stop here. Play draw. Not too much there. Barron should stop. 3rd and 12. Inside 7 minutes left in the first half here in New Orleans. 7-0 Saints. They're driving again down inside the 20. Brees stands in the pocket. Looks back of the end zone. Childs, but he's out of bounds. We'll see if the Saints look for a review there. I think that was clearly incomplete, though. I don't think there's any way Childs got that second foot down. Pass was a little bit high. Nice grab by Childs. There are no challenges.
Previous play is under review.
Oh. Okay, so the officials have ordered a review. Left foot down, right foot, no way. No way, there is not going to be. Oh my goodness. They said that's a touchdown. Holy cow. That right foot was up off the ground before Zorro misses the extra point. Okay, so a few things to discuss here. We're actually going to go, and I'm actually going to, we'll let it play out. We'll discuss it during the graphic. So first of all, that is a rarity where the graphic and the challenge don't mesh. I think that's a bad call by the officials. Saints get a break. On that missed extra point, again, one of the big things I worked on between year 1 and year 2 was trying to fix the Madden glitch, for lack of a better term, that basically CPU kickers never miss. And I've been able to get the Madden field goal percentages are 95% plus, and I've been able to get it down to a more realistic, especially for like the late 80s, early 90s era that I was looking for, more into like the around 80% figure. But the thing is with Madden, when their adjusting of accuracy tends to impact, if they have a guy be inaccurate, they have it be distance more than left-right, which is stupid. So like that animation looks terrible, an extra point falling short. I realize that, but it's getting the numbers are right. So I have to deal with the cosmetic nature of the graphic
Looking terrible.
in order to get the numbers and the performance, which is what matters most, where I want it. So 13-0 Saints. Bucks got to get something going here, and there's going to be a letter to the league office, among other things, from Tampa, because there is no way that Henry Childs had possession of that ball. And I just don't think he had. I just don't think the right foot was up in the air when he caught it. So it seems like the replay booth got one wrong there, but the Saints aren't going to object. Movement there, no contact. Saints get back on side. Winston stands in, rolls, looking for something. Incomplete. And the Buccaneers right now are struggling. 4th and 12. They'll punt again. 5:05 left in the half, and nothing is going the way of Todd Bowles through at this point. Mark Royal bangs the punt. Bush is back. He's going to return this one. Out across the 35, brought down at the 39. Breaks his official could be Phil Luckett. Rodgers, 12 carries, 80 yards in the first half. He and Ingram have they've just kept the running game downhill for the Saints here. There's no reason to change away from it as of yet. There's Rodgers, and that off-tackle play continues to work. Both sides, right and left. They are getting a seal off there, and right now the Bucs have no answer for it. John Lynch brings them down. The Saints have desperately needed this. Down inside the Tampa 40 to the 37. Rodgers planted. Dewey Selman again. Heavily taped arms, clubbing away at everybody he tackles. 2nd and 11 from the 38. Down to the 35. Nickerson with the stop. Clock ticking down on 3 minutes. Brees drops back. Stands in. Looks. Over the middle, incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down. Glad you got it. Yeah, Phil Luckett was the heads tails the heads tails call in that Steelers game. Jerome Bettis lost his mind. So the Saints with the punt goes out of bounds at the 13. 2:52 left in the half. Bucs have time. Both teams have all 3 timeouts. The Bucs are just getting nothing going right now. Handoff up the middle. Wilder, 7 carries, only 22 yards for Jameis Wilder. We talked about that when this game started. The Bucs have just not been able to get Wilder going. Averaging less than 3 yards a carry. At this point in the year, barely over 3 today. Winston rolls right, but pressure is there, and he has to throw it away to avoid the sack. Winston, 4 of 11 in the first half. Play action rolled out for the bootleg, and he was about to get himself hammered had he not thrown that away. 3rd and 9 from the 14. Winston in the gun, empty backfield. Thinks about stepping up. Now he rolls right, gets outside, and he's again going to have to throw it away. Terrific job by the Saints secondary and their pass rush. Winston and the Bucs are completely out of sorts. And right now, all Todd Bowles is going to want to do is get the Buccaneers into the locker room and try to regroup. Nothing going on for the Tampa offense. Royals will punt. And the Saints, remember, the Saints have all 3 of their timeouts. They're going to get pretty good field position here. That's a good punt from Royals. Bush has to fair catch it at the 39. But George Rogers is over the 100-yard mark here in the first half. Mark Ingram has run well as well. Again, the Saints did get a gift touchdown call on a ball that it certainly did not appear Henry Childs caught in bounds. Brees goes down the field, right-hand side, deep, knocked away. John Lynch hits DeVary Henderson and gets his hand in there and pokes that one away. It'll be 2nd and 10. Both of these teams 0-2 to start the year. Both teams playoff teams a year ago. Brees stands in, looks, and again, looking that time it's Childs, and he takes a shot from Donnie Abraham. Incomplete, 3rd and 10. Appreciate you folks all tuning in here in a late morning, early afternoon, lunchtime broadcast here in year 2 of the FSFL. Brees stands in, steps right, tries to throw one out to the side, incomplete. Brees 7 of 12, only 59 yards. The Saints haven't really gone down the field much. And that's been the case for the year. And they haven't really had many big plays, especially on the receiving end. So 4th and 10. There's still a minute 40 left. I'm not sure if I'm the Buccaneers, given how badly this first half has gone for them, if I'm overly aggressive. But with the Saints having 3 timeouts, you do have to kind of play to try to get yourself a first down at least. Otherwise, you give the Saints an opportunity to get the ball back. So it'll be interesting to see how the Bucs pursue this. They start out with Winston in the shotgun. And they are going to throw on first down. In the flat, incomplete. Jameis Winston, who we talked about in the intro, who has been very solid through the first 2 weeks. Unable to get anything going here in the first half of this one. A lot of animated discussions going on the Tampa sideline. Winston, back to pass. Misses his receiver again. He had an open man there underneath, and he just plain missed him. So now it's 3rd and 10, and the Saints know if they get a stop here, they're going to get another crack with the ball. Half was kind of zipping along, and the pace is slowed dramatically with a host of incomplete passes. And they play it safe there. They give it to Wilder, force the Saints to burn a timeout at least. On Johnson on the stop. Pick up of 3. It'll be 4th and 7 from the 17. Minute 23 left in the half. Yep, clubfoot Tom Dempsey's field goal. Greg, yep. 60-63. Remember that right? 63 yards. Bush tries to return it, only gets a couple. So the Saints will take over again. They still have a little bit of time here. Minute 16 on the clock, 2 timeouts remaining. Brees in the shotgun. Stands in, looks down the left-hand side. Complete, reeled in. Believe that's Lance Moore on the reception, and it is. Brees finds him down the left side. We talked about the Saints not having gone down the field at all. They do this time. Moore reels it in, takes a shot, but holds on. And the Saints are down inside the Tampa 30, down to the 28, 34 yards. Clock continues to roll, down inside 45 seconds left in the half. Hard count from Brees, Bucs don't bite. Drops back, pressure coming, and that's a pair of guys. Vito Vea, the first one to hit him, and that's a big sack for the Bucs. Saints will take a timeout. That's going to push them outside of Rich Zarro's range. Now the Saints are going to have to see how they're going to pursue this. They just try to get a little bit and get into field goal range, or do they go for the whole enchilada before the half? 2nd and 20, still 1 timeout remaining from the 39. Brees drops, looks, underneath, complete. That's Moore again. So that gets down to the 31. They're going to use their last timeout with 21 seconds left. So that gives me the impression that they're going to try to go for another play here near the sidelines, try to get closer for Rich Zarro. Maybe they take an end zone shot. We'll see. Play action to Rodgers. Brees stands in. Looks. He's going to have to throw that one away. Good coverage downfield by Tampa. Nothing opens up. Brees wants to make sure he doesn't get sacked there. Kind of at the edge of Zarro's range here at 48 yards. And they're not even going to bother with it. They're not going to bother with the field goal there. That is very conservative. Morstead is going to punt it, pin Tampa deep. Again, Tampa had the 3 timeouts. So if you miss that field goal, you give Tampa an opportunity, and Michael Lustad has a good leg. to try to run a play or two and get into field goal range. So New Orleans content to take the 13-0 lead into the tunnel. False start there for the Bucs. This bad goes to worse for Tampa. Handoff. Wilder cuts back, covers up, makes sure he doesn't lose it. Picks up a couple, and that will get us to halftime. 13-0 New Orleans. Tampa has absolutely nothing happening here on offense right now. 34 rushing, 64 total yards for the Buccaneers in the first half. That is not going to get it done. Saints running well with Ingram and Rodgers. Brees has 2 touchdown passes. The second one, very debatable. See if they show the child's play. They do not. I've seen it a couple of times before, but not frequently in Madden, where like the replay shows you one thing and the booth review clearly goes against that when it should be clear. That's usually pretty good. And again, occasionally that happens in real life, but that was a bad call there. Bucs need Doug Williams. He's on the list. Williams, Trent Dilfer, obviously, in that mix. I'm blanking on the quarterback before Williams. Totally blanking on it. Oh my God, that's terrible. Taken from the end zone by Humphries, out across the 20 to the 23. Oh, that's going to drive me crazy. I'll have to check that after the broadcast is over. I'm totally blanking. Solid guy, not great, but handoff up the middle, and there's Wilder, and that's what the Bucs needed. Wilder up the middle, gets out across the 40 to the 41. 1st and 10. Chains move, and Tampa really needs to get Jameis Wilder going. We'll see if that's the start of something here in the second half. Sure, this Buccaneers offense got spoken to harshly. Pick up of a yard there. That's Eddie Grant. Stopped by Onyemata. Second and 9 from the 43. Handoff. Wilder tries to get outside. Not much there. Over the middle, incomplete. So the passing game not clicking for Tampa, and they will have to punt once again. Mark Royals earning his paycheck here today. Bounces all the way into the end zone. Saints will take over from the 20. Mike Ray, I don't think that's who I'm thinking of. Who else was around that time? Steve Spurrier. Spurrier was their first guy. But Spurrier was only the quarterback there for like a year. I mean, they had a rotating... They had a rotating cast of characters there right before and right after Williams. Steve DeBerg, who's currently with the Chiefs here in the NFL. Was it Jack Thompson? Throwing Samoan was around there too. Looking deep down the right-hand side, incomplete. Brees overthrows his man. Good coverage, though, there by Barber. Maybe it might have been Spurrier that I can't think of anybody else from that era. Spurrier probably, I mean, because of how weak the position has been for the Bucs, Spurrier actually probably cracks their top 8, even though he wasn't there that long. I think he's on the overall tour. Cyro329, how are you, buddy? Good to see you. Appreciate you checking in. Hope you are doing well. Gary Huff was another guy. But like none of those guys were the Bucs quarterback for very long. I feel like all of them were like the quarterback for maybe a year and a half around Williams. Williams like finally brought a little bit of stability to that spot. Handoff. Rodgers breaks 2 tackles down inside the 40 to the 39. And the New Orleans run game just keeps on rolling. GSTA, how are you? I don't remember seeing your name here, so I appreciate you checking in for a, I believe, first time. Always glad to have new faces in. Handoff Rodgers. Rodgers stopped up the middle, tries to pop it outside, and the Bucs blow it open. Nickerson with the stop. Loss of 1, 2nd and 11. Tampa's defense has held up their end of the bargain here. Their offense has done nothing so far in this game. High snap. Brees holds it, hands it to Ingram up the middle. Gets down inside the 35 to the 34. 11 carries, 49 yards now for Mark Ingram. Get inside the 10-minute mark in quarter number 3. This is kind of a big third down here for the Bucs. Got to stop the Saints on this drive while the Bucs continue to try to figure out things offensively. Rodgers brought down. That's a good tackle there. Hardy Nickerson comes up. He was really the only guy in the area. Rodgers gets past him. I think Rodgers has 10 yards ahead of him. A good job by Nickerson. Sheds the block from Henry Childs and comes up to bring down Rodgers. So 4th and 3. This would be a 49-yard attempt, and they're not going to do it. I love when they do that. They run the animation like they're going to run the kicker out, and then it ends up being the punter. More Madden quality control on the little things. You know, the thing is, if you mess up enough little things, they add up to a very annoying thing, and that's kind of the Madden hallmark. Handoff Wilder. Picks up 4. 12 for 55. Wilder's starting to put together a decent little day here. But I'm not sure how much longer they're going to be able to reside with just running. Second and 6. Winston drops back. Brought down. Down he goes. Willis Paul comes through for the sack for the Saints. 2nd sack for New Orleans. Down goes Winston. And the Buccaneers offense just continues to struggle. 3rd and 11 from the 13. Winston in the gun. Trying to get something clicking here. Looks left-hand side, incomplete. And he had a receiver and he overthrew him. And boy, this is a rough game for Jameis Winston. Again, he's been very good the first 2
weeks of the season here in year 2.
But he is having a miserable time here today against New Orleans. Mark Royals comes on to punt once more. New Orleans again will get good field position. Reggie Bush calls for the fair catch at the 41. K2, well, there was a message, but now it's gone. But appreciate you tuning in nonetheless. What is Bro TV? So I'm not sure exactly what you're asking there, but real quick. So the way this project, it's basically an all-time franchise stars roster, but kind of with a twist. All the great guys aren't here right at the start. It's done with a career mode in mind. So every franchise has a 130-player master pool 50 guys from that were taken at random. The remaining 80 guys will come in over time for each franchise. So as it goes forward, a bunch more of the better players in franchises' history will come on down the line. The usual franchise stars project is have all the best guys and basically be designed to play one season with, and that's it. This lets you have a full career mode with the guys instead. Ingram is stopped there. That'll bring up 4th and 3. Rondé Barber comes up from the Tampa secondary for the stop. That trap had worked. Again, it was 4th and a bit of extra yardage, but the Saints have gotten nice yards on the running game today. So that's not a terrible play call right there. But the Bucs snuff it out. Thomas Morstead comes on for the punt. Angle toward the sideline. Out of bounds at the 11. Bucs will take over. 1st and 10 again from deep in their own end. Wilder takes it, picks up a yard. Marshawn Lattimore with the stop. It'll be 2nd and 9. Tight set here. Wilder the lone setback behind Winston. They give it to him. Tries to get to the outside. Out across the 15, out across the 20. 1st down and more. Good, hard running from James Wilder. Up to 74 yards on the day. He's knocked out just shy of the 30. Movement there. Saints will say the Bucs started early. And they are correct. False start on Tampa. Don Bowles not having much of that. 1st and 15 from the 24. Handoff Wilder. Tries to get outside. Brought down by Vaughn Johnson. Loss of 3. 5th solo tackle for Vaughn Johnson on the day. Formation behind Winston. Stands in, books, little slant, complete. Not a big gain, but Winston at this point will take any completion he can find. That's Mark Carrier. That's only the 2nd catch of the game for Carrier. Lattimore stops him. It'll be 3rd and 7 from the 33. And off there. Oh, we got some spammers in the chat. It's always good to see spammers. Spammers are fun. Hand off there, Wilder gobbled up. Tampa tries to get a little cute there to no avail. 4th and 10, and the punting unit will come on once more. Royals with the punt. Bush takes it. Out across the 25. Out to the 28, 1st and 10, and New Orleans will take over again. So the Bucs still staring at that big old donut on the scoreboard. Down 13-0, 2:37 left in the 3rd. Brees rolls out, brought down by Vita Vea. For the sack, loss of 11, back at the 16. Let's do a little moderating. And that hasn't happened in a while. We like having the 4-year-old toddlers coming in. checking into the chat. Shotgun there. Brees. Handoff. Ingram brought down in the backfield. Back at the 12. Lavonte David with the stop. "33 rushes, only 17 pass plays for the Saints. Not usually Sean Payton's MO. That's back. Pressure coming from the weak side. Simeon Rice. Brees throws it away to avoid the sack back near the goal line. And the Saints will have to punt. 1:13 left in the third. So the Bucs will come out of this with good field position. There's a chance for Tampa to come back on this and start getting something going. This would be the time. Out across the 40 to the 42. Loaded tight end set on the low side. Handoff Wilder goes that way, and the Saints get penetration anyway. Bring them down, no gain, 2nd and 10. Handoff there. Nothing doing. Jimmy Johnson on the stop for a loss of a yard. It'll be 3rd and 11. We're up the final seconds of the third quarter. Winston gets the snap off, fires, almost picked off. Oh, Dave Waymer almost intercepted that ball. Can't hold on to it. It's merely an incomplete pass as time expires in the third and time running out on the Bucs. 13-0 Saints as we head to the fourth. Mark Royals will come on for seemingly his 20th punt of the day. Tampa just continues to struggle to get anything going. Fair catch called by Reggie Bush back at the 12. Ray was the backup to Stabler. I did not remember that. I didn't remember that Stabler had missed 3 games. Handoff Rodgers. Out to the 15. Pickup of 3. 2nd and 7. Shotgun there for Brees. Brees drops back. Looks. Pass complete. Nickerson all over him. Connected that to Ingram. Brees 11 of 19, 115 yards. A very modest day for Brees. Saints have been run heavy in this one. Todd B checks in. Oh no, Jameis Winston. One of the few Browns fans left. Even we cringed when Winston played. Yeah, Winston's now in a really weird spot with the Giants. He was brought in to be Russell Wilson's backup, and then they drafted Dart, and now they love Dart, and Winston is basically getting paid like a veteran backup to be the 3rd-string quarterback on that team. I remember back in the day when Jameis Winston was thought to be a head case. Like, he grew up a lot and has become like a very respected veteran throughout the league, but punt there taken by Humphreys inside the 30. The viewer count has gone back down a little bit. I guess the toddlers who roamed in here for a while realized that Teletubbies was on and went back to watch their TV. And no pitch to the outside for Wilder. Brought down by Dirt Winston. Loss of 2, 2nd and 12. Wilder gets up hobbling. stands in. Floats one down the left-hand side. Deep ball going up. It's a jump ball and batted away. Tried to get Wilder out of the backfield. But Winston was right there with him, 3rd and 12. They have the luxury there, Todd, because Greg likes every team except like 3. No Cowboys, no Patriots. Pass there on the out route, complete to Carter. Carter steps out of bounds, but it's a first down connection. 3rd catch of the game for Carter. Carter had 2 receptions on the opening drive. He hasn't had a catch since, until this one. Again, it's only a 13-0 game. The Bucs, they can get something going here, can put themselves right back into this one. 12:02 remaining. Flag there. False start. So that'll push him back 5 yards. 1st and 15 from the 37. Pass there behind his receiver, incomplete. Everyone in the Cowboys division except Dallas hasn't been good enough recently enough for anybody to still hate them. 2nd and 15 from the 37. Winston in the gun. Fires, quick out, incomplete. Nothing working for Tampa. Winston in the gun, empty backfield. He's got 5 wide. Pass there. Oh, caught! Wow, blanket coverage, and Carrier reels it in anyway. Geno Atkins right there with him, but Carrier pulls it in for his 3rd catch of the day. I mean, that is threading the needle there from Winston. You can argue it was a dangerous pass, but down 13 in the 4th, you got to do something. And Mark Carrier comes away with it. 1st down, Tampa into New Orleans territory. Hand off Wilder. Stuffed at the line. When he carries 71 yards on the day for James Wilder. Saints fans, send your brown unused Saints bags to Browns fans. We can customize it. I approve of the recycling there, Tom. Down inside the 40, down to the 39. It'll be 3rd and 5. Big 3rd down here for Tampa if they've got any hope of pulling something off here. Winston in the gun, 3 to the top side. Harris off the line as the tight end, wide on the low side. Winston, pressure. Winston's going to take off. 1st down, Jameis Winston. Winston scrambles, gets down at the 31, picks up 8, and the chains will move for Tampa. So the Bucs keep hope alive. Good job there by Winston. Perhaps if our kicker had made a kick in game 1, we'd be 1-1. Look, left side. Tipped away, incomplete. Intended for Carter along the sideline. 2nd and 10. 9 minutes left in the game. Standing in, Winston. Pass complete. Pulled in down to the 25. That's Horace Copeland. His 1st catch of the game. Picks up 6. Lattimore stops him there. Yeah, especially if Myles Garrett decides that he's going to try to force a trade, the Browns are in trouble. Pass there complete. Inside the 15, down inside the 10. Winston finally gets over the 100-yard mark passing. That's McGee with the reception, his first of the game, picks up 17. So the Bucs have a little something going here. First and goal from the 8. 4-down territory here. Field goal doesn't do anything for them. Handoff. Down inside the 5. Down close to the goal line. They'll say the knee hit. Before he went into the end zone, Mark Fields on the stop for New Orleans. Winston marked down at the 1. Second and goal from the 1 for Tampa. I formation. Handoff. Gotten from behind. Eddie Graham tries to get it to the outside. He's brought down by Young for a loss of 2. Third and goal from the 3. So they go to Eddie Graham there. Now Wilder back in the game. Huge play here for both sides. Winston moves Harris into position to block for Wilder, but the Saints stand him up. Wilder picks up 2, but he needed 3. And now, 4th and goal from the 1 for the Bucs. Jimmy Johnson, the first guy there on the stop. Clock continues to roll. We'll get down inside the 6-minute mark. Oh, there's no way you're kicking a field goal. And there's a penalty. False start? Yep, a false start on the Bucs. So Tampa shoots themselves in the foot, and 4th and inches from inside the 1 becomes 4th and goal from the 6. Winston drops, has some room. Winston, oh, he had some space. He passes it up. Now he's going to try to get in, and he's forced out of bounds. Dirt Winston forces Jameis Winston out of bounds at the 2, and the Saints will take over. The Bucs get nothing. Well, that wasn't even Winston forced him out. He got near the sideline there and couldn't turn the corner quick enough. Winston had a chance to scramble in for the end zone, it felt like, a couple of steps before that, and instead went wide and then got the angle cut on it. Oh, that hurts. Oh, that hurts so bad. Winston, you got to lower the shoulder there. Kind of took the angle, thought he could tiptoe his way in, and was not able to do so. Oh, boy. Well, if that doesn't wrap up how this game has gone for the Buccaneers offense, I don't know what does. But, I mean, I think I'm imagining now, like 2 or 3 steps before that, he had a shot to try to go into the end zone, and instead he tried to get wide and just didn't have the space there to do it. But at that point, like, you got to make a dive for the end zone or something there. You can't just try to tiptoe your way in and step out of bounds. The Saints will go 3 and out, but they don't care about that. Let the clock keep on running. They'll punt it. Bucs will get good field position, but now, all the time the Bucs ate up on that last drive went for absolutely nothing. It doesn't look like he avoided contact. Yeah, I mean, that was just, you know, you gotta make the effort there. Lower the shoulder if you have to. You don't want to see your quarterback lowering his shoulder often, but that is a play. Once you make the decision to get to the sideline there, you got to lower the shoulder if needed. So now Winston has to fire. Complete down inside the 35. 10 of 27 for 122. Down in the 31. Clock continues to roll, though. Lawrence Dawsey, that's Dawsey's first catch of the game. Pickup of 16. No huddle offense here for the Bucs. Pass there complete, and a touchdown for Tampa. Mark Carrier. So perhaps the Saints having avoided letting up that touchdown a couple of plays ago on the end of the last Bucs drive, kind of let up a little bit, and now Tampa has thrust themselves back into this one. 13-6, Michael Usted for the extra point attempt. Puts it up and good. 13-7. 2 plays, 47 yards, and suddenly we've got a game. So Winston somewhat redeems himself for the bad decision that ends the last drive with the touchdown strike to carry. Both teams have all 3 timeouts. 3:11 left in the game. Poor Jameis. Kick taken at the goal line. Bush is going to return it. Out across the 20. Nope. Oh, got stopped at the 20. Right at the 20. So 3:07 left. Remember, it's not like the Saints have been a juggernaut offensively, especially in the second half. They ran the ball very well in the first half. Dominated time of possession. Rodgers and Ingram were terrific. But they haven't gotten much going here, but that changes there. George Rodgers, first down out across the 30. Out to the 33. Rodgers has as many yards today as he had in the first 2 games of the season. That first down hurt. Can't really afford to give up another. If you're Tampa. Clock ticking down. And off. Rodgers. Outside. Brought
Down.
pick up
Up of 3, Donnie Abraham.
on the stop. That'll get us to the 2-minute warning. (13-7) Saints. The Bucs finally breaking through on their last drive to make it a 6-point game. Now the Saints just trying to get this one to the finish line. Handoff up the middle. Ingram looked like there was a bit of traffic in the backfield there. He and Brees kind of ran into each other. Not sure if there was a miscommunication on what goal they were going to or what. But at the end of the day, Bucs call the timeout. It's 3rd and 7 from the 36. Conversion here would pretty much wrap up the game. Stop here, and the Bucs will get the ball back with time left. Decent amount of time. They opt for the run. Rodgers breaks a tackle. Oh, George Rodgers, first down, and that's going to do it. Rodgers was hit well before the first down marker, and he steamrolls. Oh, that's Nickerson. Oh, boy. I mean, Nickerson was being blocked. He had just gotten off of his block, and Rodgers runs Hardy Nickerson over for the first down in the Tampa territory. Tampa burns the timeout. But that should, for all intents and purposes, wrap this one up. Handoff. Bucs use their last timeout there. Dewey Selman with another tackle. He's been all over the place for Tampa today. 2nd and 7 from the 40. Bucs need to sign a free. Well, that Testaverde is in their draft pool. But yeah, they probably will need to draft a QB. Him, Doug Williams. We'll see who shows up as being eligible for them in the next draft. But got to think that a quarterback is going to be on the agenda. Again, the first rookie draft ended up not really being the way I was going to conventionally do it, because remember I had those Joe Random guys on every team, like 5 or 6 of them, and I ended up using the first draft to replace all of those guys, so it was largely offensive and defensive linemen for this draft for year 2. This year's, the draft before year 3 will be more of the conventional line that I was going for. So 4th and 7 from the 39. The Bucs will get the ball back with very limited time left here. There's about a 20-second difference on the clock. Thomas Morstead will come on to punt. Angle kick. Morstead does not hit this one well. That goes out of bounds at the 20. A bit of a shank job there by Morstead. But Tampa can't stop the clock. If you're the Bucs, you're thinking of what the Bills did to the Jets the other day and thinking you got a chance. Winston drops back in the pocket. Good protection. Steps up, gets away from trouble. Doesn't want to cross the line. He's just going to throw it away. I admittedly hate that as far as the man. So they have the guy who doesn't want to step across the line there. And again, it's just an incomplete thought in the game development process. At this point in the game, throwing the ball out of bounds there serves no purpose if you're throwing it away. You try to force one into a receiver there. That throwing it out of bounds doesn't do you anything. You have to take your chance. If you get picked, you get picked. So what? Because now all you've done is you've just kind of you've given yourself no opportunity there. You know, if you throw 140 yards downfield and it gets picked off, well, you lose the game anyway. So that's, again, just an AI programming thing that, you know, that's quality control stuff, which, as my good friend Cyro said earlier on, frequently something that's lacking, you know, with Madden and with EA as a whole. Again, great coverage down the field, but Winston just kind of gets stuck there, and that is a terrible way to end a terrible performance by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense. Todd Bowles. I'm trying to remember who's their backup. It's Josh Freeman. Well, Winston had played very well before this game, so I probably wouldn't do a QB change at that point, especially not for Josh Freeman. But that is a rough way to go down for the Buccaneers there. 36% of your passes completed is not going to win any friends. Again, Brees, the Saints running the ball heavily, but they run it well. Brees completes 60%, but only 127 in terms of the yardage. Surprised the Saints didn't try to open it up a little bit more. Look at some of the stats. 237 in total offense for the Bucs. That's not going to get it done. And really, most of that was in the fourth quarter, actually. The Saints win with only 16 first downs. The Bucs only got 11. But Ingram and Rodgers really started to take this game over. That was much more like the George Rodgers of year one. The other team was great on third downs. So just not a pretty game by any stretch. Winston, the 65 QB rating, 11 of 30 for the 153. One touchdown, no picks. Winston with Mike Phelps numbers. Yikes. Drew Brees, 12 of 20 for 127. And the score. Rodgers ended up with a huge day, actually. 27 for 181. Wilder, 23 for 84. Ingram, 17 for 41. Ingram started off really hot, and then he started to get contained. Nobody with a huge day receiving-wise. Carrier, touchdown for Tampa. Abramowitz. Even the game doesn't believe it. Oh, that's funny. Even the game doesn't believe it. Look at the stat line. Henry Childs. It doesn't give him credit for the touchdown in the stats. So even the game refuses to give Henry Childs that poorly officiated touchdown. We're going to go back. We're going to go back to that play. I should be able to bring that highlight up here. There's just no way that was a catch. But the Saints don't get the cry about that. The Saints don't get the cry about that because. I'm sorry, the Bucs don't get the cry about that because they played terribly. There might not be a replay because it was. Yeah, look at this. Holy cow. Oh, that's funny. So the play calls it an incomplete pass intended for Henry Childs. And then it's the extra point. Wow. Let's see. It doesn't let you replay. It lists every play, but it doesn't always let you. Let's see. Winston, the carrier for the TD. Rush by Ingram. Yeah, no, there's no play logo. There's no play logo there, so I can't play that play. Although it lets me run the 3rd and goal where Wilder got stopped. Yeah, but it doesn't allow it for Winston, which is a good thing for Winston. Winston wants them to erase the tape. Well, the Saints get a victory that's a bit of a gift based on that bad call on the Childs touchdown. But the Buccaneers offense did not play well enough to complain. 13-7, Saints improved to 1-2. The Bucs are now 0-3. And again, with the setup that I've got this year, where it's the 4 division winners and only 1 wild card making the postseason, losing 3 division games to open up the season really, really hurts for the Bucs. So that'll do it. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Appreciate the toddlers checking in before for their little spam fest. That was cute. Hadn't had that happen in a long time. Used to have the occasional porn bot pop in, but not the toddler attack. So good to see those guys in here as well. Hopefully they at least subscribe. They had to subscribe in order to get into the chat. So I don't know, maybe the subscriber count will go up. Anyway, appreciate you guys tuning in. The 3rd and final game of the live broadcasts for Week 3 will be Cowboys and Eagles. Possibly late tonight, depending when work wraps up. If not, it'll probably be in this slot tomorrow, and then I will get to work on putting the Week 3 highlight video together. Enjoy the rest of your day, gentlemen. Be good to each other, and we'll talk soon. The Saints take down the Bucs 13-7 at the Superdome.